amigos, es señor Davis y son las instrucciones para hoy, el 30 de noviembre. Pues primero necesitan comunicar conmigo en la comunicación. Pues contestan las dos preguntas, answer the 2 questions on the communication survey. So I can count you for attendance for the week. Make sure you're clicking the submit button at the bottom. Some of you are submitting this in Schoology, but not submitting it in Google Forms. And when you don't submit it in Google Forms, I can't see your answers. So please make sure you click that purple submit button at the bottom and then submit in Schoology. Y luego vamos a repasar para el examen. Primero tengo la música miércoles bailando por Enrique Iglesias. Y tenemos dos cosas para hacer. Repaso de gramática, review over the grammar from this chapter, which are reflexive verbs and present progressive. And I will say the biggest issue that I see with this test in the past, in history of giving this test, is that people understand reflexives when we do reflexives, and you understand present progressive when we do present progressive. But then when it comes to the test and you have to do one or the other, then I see mistakes. So this is to practice the individual grammar topics, practicing reflexives in present tense by themselves, practicing all verbs, reflexive and not, in present progressive. So please make sure you're paying attention to what I'm asking you to do in each of these. For this first one, I'm asking for present progressive, and present progressive is a form of a star. You're changing the verb to the gerundio, and then you decide if you need a reflexive pronoun. So for ducharse, that's a reflexive verb. You need a reflexive pronoun in your conjugation. But for comer, that's not reflexive. It doesn't end in a se. So I should not have a reflexive in this conjugation, only a form of a star and a gerundio. Now, when I move on to numero dos, or actually I should say it will be numero dos in a second. This next one is present tense conjugations of reflexive verbs. Now, present tense does not have a star and it does not have gerundios. It's choosing the reflexive, mete, se, nos, and then conjugating the verb left over. So for this one, for Juan, I'm going to choose my reflexive se, and then I conjugate lavar in regular present tense, which is lava. And then you'll do that for these, and then pay attention for any that have a conjugated verb in them already. Remember, you don't conjugate the reflexive verb, but you do change the reflexive pronoun. And then I have a table for you to fill out so that you can see the difference between conjugating these verbs in present tense and conjugating them in present progressive. All of these are reflexive. So in each conjugation, you'll need your reflexive pronoun, me, te, se, or nos. But in present tense, I just conjugate the verb in present tense with o, as, a, amos, an endings, or for the ER verbs. But in present progressive, I'll need my form of a star, and I change my verb to the gerundio, the ando, yendo words. So this is so you can see a side-by-side of how they're conjugated differently, because on your test, there'll be a section where I say conjugate reflexives in present tense, and there'll be a section where I say conjugate verbs in present progressive. And I need to make sure that you know the difference, because a lot of times what I see is people do the same thing for both sections, and then you get one whole section incorrect. So make sure that you do this one carefully and check your answers when you're done. Remember, these puzzle piece ones you can do twice. So you can go back and look at all the answers that you got wrong, if you got any wrong, and then fix them so that you're ready to go for your test. And then the last one is practice with pensar and infinitives. Now, we did this when we were reviewing the vocabulary in this chapter, talking about what each person plans to do. To plan to do something is the verb pensar, and then whatever comes after that is an infinitive. So for the example I gave you, I have yo and eat. So you're going to write a sentence that says, I plan to eat. Yo pienso comer. Period at the end, otherwise it marks wrong. So that's your grammar review. Luego tenemos repaso de vocabulario con Gimkit. So you'll play the Gimkit game to try and win $100,000 of, fake money by practicing your vocabulary. It's been a little bit since we've done Gimkit. So remember, what you'll do is you'll log in with your Google, and it'll automatically bring you to the window. like this. If this window doesn't load, make sure you click the link here to open it in a separate window. A couple people had issues with GimKit last week not opening in Schoology, but would open in a separate window. So if that happens to you, just click that link so that you can see it in a different window and it should work for you. So here it's logging in for me, and then you're going to see the questions. See, like that. That's the problem I'm getting. Okay, we'll open it in a separate window. Remember, these are multiple choice for questions that you'll answer. And then after each question, you'll be given the option to spend money to get upgrades. So remember, after you click the answer, you can either click continue and answer more questions, or you can click shop and buy upgrades. And you have to do that in order for you to ever reach $100,000. Otherwise, you're going to answer 100,000 questions. So more money per question, multipliers, pick which ones you want, and then you go back to questions to continue answering questions. And once you're finished with that, you'll click Submit Assignment in Schoology. Now, those are your only required assignments for today. However, I do have the option for you to do some escribir práctica for the writing portion of your test. So down here, this isn't an assignment. It's not something you have to do, though I strongly, strongly recommend it. This is your writing portion from your study guide, and you're basically just going to do the checklist, make sure you've included things, and write your writing portion here. If you click the brown submit button, don't forget to click submit, otherwise it won't send to me. I will take a look at it and I will send you back feedback. So what I'll do is I'll look at it, give you the feedback, and then I click return. So you'll get an email that says, Mrs. Davis returned this assignment to you. You need to make sure you read that, click view, so you can see my comments on your paragraph. Many of you did that for me last time, and I was able to fine tune some errors, but then I don't think a lot of you actually read the feedback that I sent to you. Look for the email that comes back with the feedback so that you can see what I'm saying for you. Y el examen es el 2 de diciembre. It'll be the 2nd of December, or 3rd if you are behind. No. Excuse me, the 1st or the 2nd will be your test. So there'll be 2 portions like before, a listening writing portion and the multiple choice portion. For the multiple choice portion, it's extremely important that you are using your school-issued Chromebook. Otherwise, you will not be able to open the multiple choice. If you have some kind of problem with that, you must email me immediately to let me know. But otherwise, you have to use your school-issued Chromebook for the multiple choice portion of your test. So be prepared for that on the 2nd. Pero si tienes preguntas, me mando un correo electrónico, send me an email. Otherwise, good luck y adios.